Hello, everybody. Welcome, and hello, DJ. Good to see you, man. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. Greetings, travelers. How is everyone today?
I'm doing good. How are you? We'll just wait for the chat.
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, it's all good. Hi, everyone. I'm back. I got my PS5 working, so no more hinky business with the laptop. And yeah, feeling pretty good about that. Getting back into some glitch building and a little bit of exploring. So it's been really good. I've been
Good.
really digging all the new stuff. Yeah. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I've not been at that much in No Man's Sky, but I've been enjoying my weeks.
Well, you've been playing a lot of Starfield. I've noticed that.
Yeah.
And
well, I had a good, when I did the full week of my anniversary stream, then I was like, it was a lot of Starfield, but yeah, I'm really enjoying the game, that's for sure.
Excellent. Yeah.
Do you guys see the DJ? It's a little bit dark, maybe. I don't know. He's very well camouflaged in the wall now that I look at it. He's right there, guys. Just in case. So he's right here, you know. Just in case you don't see him, there he is.
Here I am. Hello.
Let's see if I can move it a bit so we have maybe that, a little bit better light. He's already getting in the role of camouflage.
Yeah. So, how are you? Have you tried much of the new update and the expedition?
I did.
Have you played any of that yet?
Actually, when I came back from the holidays, because the update dropped when I was in UK.
Yeah.
I jumped in straight into the game. I figured everything out a little bit. I made a few videos, which currently are actually outdated because of the bug fixes.
Yeah.
Then I did the expedition, which was bugged as well. But
they fixed it.
I fixed it. They fixed it and I finished it. I have to say, it was definitely not my favorite expedition.
Really? Oh, I loved it. Actually, it was really good. This one I really enjoyed.
Yeah, well, I think it all. Yeah, I think it all depends on what is your play style. I think as well, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. A lot of zoology.
Yeah.
Geez, I think I got about 35 full complete zoology under my belt just on that expedition alone.
Yeah, I think like for people like Old Explorer and Alexicek, this was like an expedition perfect for them because I know they love the zoology. But for me, it was like, although it might just have been the fact that the bug didn't trigger that, and then another thing didn't work, and I was starting a little bit annoyed with it. So it was like, I'm spending so much time on this, I could do something else, But then, they fixed it, and but for a person that doesn't, for a person that doesn't need to rush it, as a content creator, then it's different, I think.
Yeah, I mean, unless you know the systems where those things are located off by heart, doing a speed run on this one is a little bit more difficult.
Yeah.
I think the toughest was the most hostile planet. That was one of the tougher ones to discover. I had to search and search and search. I had everything complete except for that.
Yeah, I really forgot how I found it.
Yeah, I stumbled upon it just not long after finishing. Just I was peppering the whole line leading up to the expedition quest there. So yeah, it was good. I think it's right 1 star over from the expedition Rendezvous 5. So yeah, it was good. But I enjoyed it an awful lot. Helped me sort of get back into the game again after about a month and a half of being away. Just because of the whole PlayStation thing, just didn't want to play my disc. But we're on digital now, so screw that disc.
Yeah, it's now just decoration, that disc.
Yeah, yep, yeah. We'll hang it on the wall as a memento along with my other memorabilia. And maybe I'll tape my V4 pass to it.
Maybe you can put it in. You could put it in one of these epoxy things, so it's up forever, eternalized now into a nice.
Yeah. I still got the original box cover and everything. Yeah, pretty. It's in mint condition. It never left my PlayStation. And the only time it did was when I took it out of the PS4 and put it in the PS5. So
wow, so much space in here.
I know. I thought the disc would have been warped and melted by that point. So, you just got back on holiday. How was it? Did you have a good time? Where did you go?
Well, I went to UK. My plan was actually to go
Yeah.
for the meetup there in UK.
Mm-hmm.
But because I was there, was like, you know what, let's take some few days extra and visit some friends that we've not seen for a long time. So we did that.
Yeah.
And of course, at that time, the update dropped. I already had my rotten eggs and rotten tomatoes ready when I was going to, but okay, I've forgiven Sean for it.
I didn't see anybody streaming the meetup this time. I think last year there were several streamers that were streaming it.
Miyogi
This
did
year
it.
I didn't see any.
Miyogi streamed it on his channel, and there was also a Discord where you could go and jump in and talk with, Yeah. It was like a digital meetup. But I'm not sure how well it was promoted or whatever.
I didn't know about the Discord at all, so promotion never reached me. And I knew that a few players were there, like Miyogi and a few others like yourself, but at the time I didn't see anyone streaming it. So
no,
I missed it, unfortunately.
Yeah. I was like, I was totally out of content creator mode anyway, so I was like, you know what, I'm not going to spend any time making videos, recording, whatever.
Yeah, it's kind of hard when you're live like that to be doing any content creation and then having to edit that. So
and I didn't have my laptop that I have is not working anyway, so it's like effing hell. I'm just going to take a break, 100% break of it.
Yeah. Well, you're there as a player, not necessarily as a content creator. So, and
anyway,
player.
I really enjoyed it. Met a lot of great people, and a lot of people that I didn't know who they were until they told me their nicknames for the chat.
Yeah.
But it was good. Some swag. I got some swag. I don't have it here. I put it in my I have the Atlas hoodie. So Sean, Hello Games dropped like 3 boxes of like hoodies with different sizes for us. Also a cake.
Oh, very cool.
With the Echoes art on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they dropped some money as well behind the bar to drink like the tap. So it was, I mean, they really made sure that we had a good time there. So yeah, I got myself a hoodie there and some stuff from Captain Steve as well, which I don't know where I put. Yeah, anyway.
Good to hear. Glad you had a great time. Maybe one of these days I'll take a flight over there and join you guys.
Yeah, I've to be honest, I've been sitting through the whole weekend thinking, you know what, I could have used this money for something else. We should have gone on a holiday out of the season. It was very expensive to go in August to UK, at least for me. So I don't know for next time or the future what I'm gonna do. August is a terrible time to fly to UK, to anywhere, to be honest. So
it is. Summertime is always difficult. Yeah,
booking a hotel or whatever, it's also expensive. So anyway,
well, good.
I did it once. I did it once. Pretty happy. Really enjoyed it, but it was costly and costly twice because it was very painful to seeing a great update dropping during that time. I could have really used that update to get some traffic.
Yeah.
But anyway,
you know what? You'll recover. Yeah.
I'm leaving again. I'm leaving again on holiday Saturday, so there might be something dropping.
It seems to be the luck this year, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I had a good time.
All good to hear.
So you finished the expedition yourself as well, I think. I mean, you said you enjoyed it, so I'm assuming you finished it.
Yeah. I've got 3 saves to do it on, but the first save is complete. I took my time with it and enjoyed it, and did a whole bunch of zoology. And now I'm just sort of setting up a little bit of a cafe sort of area there with
Mhm.
Lily Hop and a few others, and just sort of a rest stop at the end of the quest.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good. I had to buy, go around digging up a whole bunch of salvage data so I can buy some parts and just sort of get that character, fixed up. But
Mm.
other than that, I'm just enjoying what it has to offer. I've noticed they've made a few fixes over the last couple of months, which
Mhm.
I'm really grateful for, not just for the expedition, but also, in game as well. Building is a little bit better. Um, there was a few bugs that were plaguing the builder's menu rotation,
Uh-huh.
the usuals. I see they haven't fixed the fireplace yet, but here's to hoping.
I have no idea. I have no idea what they're planning there. If this doesn't feel on purpose, but you never know. I don't know anymore.
Yeah,
But there was
yeah,
definitely some great fixes. I think, for example, the Switch also should have some serious fixes that really improve their playing. But
yes.
I've not seen anybody, confirming or denying that. But that was what I saw in the patch notes, so which is a good thing.
Yeah, they just came out, and I've got a good friend in the cafe who's been playing the Switch. Far as I can tell, he did some streaming with it the other night. He seems happy with it so far. So, fingers crossed, everything goes to plan for him and the rest of the Switch users out there for No Man's Sky.
Good, good. Whew. So, anything else you're doing, No Man's Sky
Not
wise, or
much,
outside of No Man's Sky?
not a whole lot. Outside No Man's Sky, I've picked up another little game to tinker around with. And that's always fun. It's a completely different game. And mostly I'm just sort of bouncing back and forth between that one and No Man's Sky and
Mm,
sort of get my bearings, learning the autophage and some of the procedures I got to go through to get the staff and things like that. Just, updating my characters,
yeah,
myself,
yeah.
and everything else. I'm still going to stay the same character. This is sort of my identity. But it would be nice to get the staff and a few of the other bonus goodies play around with. Um, you know, I film all the time, so having different characters or the use of those cosmetics is nice to be able to change my characters for various different films that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm. No, I really enjoyed the update. I mean, the staff, the autophage customization, which is amazing. I have a character that is now changed, and this one doesn't have any changes yet because I didn't do it. But yeah, I kind of fell in love with another one now. The Anubis like a head, really like the like it's like a dog wolf head.
Mhm.
Robot was like, yeah. They also have a Gek, but I don't really like that Gek head that much.
Yeah.
And the robot Gek head. But I mean, the Atlas multi-tools, great. There's also a whole new storyline you can, or lore you can go and find if you do the Atlas multi-tools. So nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm liking the new lore. It's good that they added a little bit of something to it. I don't know if it ties everything together, completely yet, but it does sort of, based on what I've seen so far, there is a little bit of a shout out to the past,
Mm-hmm.
and sort of connects the dots a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really kind of glad. The autophage feels very much like the nomad portion of the community. A lot of the outcasts or
Mm-hmm.
the members who of the community who just they didn't really fit into those big groups and just sort of out there exploring alone. So I like that they did that, and I like some of the new sort of features and the idea that they came up with. You know, with the staff and going around and learning the lore for that. It was really, really well done.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a tent now, which is kind of neat. It's
Yeah,
not
the
your
building tent, yeah.
typical A-frame tent, but you know, um, that's it's another thing that you can quickly drop down if you're just sort of building, some covered area to get out of the rain or whatever.
Mm-hmm. It's I
Seek some refuge from the storm.
Yeah, I was thinking this is like a great way to do like a little role play game for a nomad, But you have to set up your tents every evening and then go and sleep and then.
Well, it is summertime, so we got to have tents, right? So. Now we need a campfire. Campfire, a tent, we'll put it all together.
Put your tent out, put a
So-
campfire, a little bed inside, a little cot, and then just
That's
great.
right.
But it's yeah, I don't know. I've been playing with an idea like that. Maybe it would be great to do like a, you know, like a style of challenge run where you have to set up your tent, but it's too complicated, and you don't have the tent at the beginning anyway. So yeah. Anyway, just some fun
Yeah.
stuff. Some fun stuff.
Yeah, no, I've been enjoying it. It's been good. You know, some of the aspects that they've added to the game, it's really good to see that they're still adding new features. You know, obviously, we'd still like to see some bug fixes, which have plagued the game for a long time. But you know, I'm using newer characters or newer saves to do the autophage, and just because less band-aids on the save itself, if that makes sense to anybody. It seems to run a little bit cleaner
Yes.
on those newer
Yes.
saves,
Yeah.
as opposed to my legacy save, like this one here. This one, I started this one because there was a lot of bugs in my legacy save, and this was several years ago now. And now this one is my new legacy, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not doing anything really new on this particular save, but I have other saves which I'm doing some of the newer things with, and it seems to run a little bit cleaner, a lot easier to
Yeah.
kickstart the autophage mission. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's weird, but I think it's indeed like an old save kind of is still holding on to some of the old code or something, or, you know, layered on something, and causes issues with render or basis or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had to delete my legacy save, my original
Mhm.
day one save that I started. It was unfortunate. I had about 2,500 hours on it, but I had to delete it. It wasn't. I couldn't build any base computers. I couldn't make warp cells. They literally crippled the save. So at that point, it was like, okay, well, do you want to just hold on to this for nothing, or do you want to start a new save? And I deleted it literally 2 months before they gave us the update that gave us up to 15 saves per account. So yeah, a little bit of bruised feelings on that one, but I mean, what can I say?
It's too bad. I mean, if
have
you would
my
have been
memory.
like a PC, you could have backed it up and put it on side. No, but yeah, PS4 is a bit of
Yeah, little hint here, Sean. Communicate to your fans. Let us know what you're doing.
Bye bye legacy
But
save.
yeah. I think I even streamed it.
Your deletion.
Streamed
Yeah.
it for about 5 minutes. Yeah, I couldn't. I didn't have the heart to just delete it without a
Proper
one last
goodbye.
gasp.
Yeah. the final breath.
Yeah, it was the first expedition, the very first expedition where I deleted it, and I wanted to take part in the expedition. I needed a save to do so, so I went by the way of the dodo.
Mhm.
So yeah, so what do we got planned today? We got something new planned for today, I think.
Yeah, we go. Wrong mouse. There we go. We got some guests today. We got actually 2 guests today.
Yes.
But I don't know how much we want to share about that yet. But that's good. We have a duo we're going to interview today. We'll have to see who is going to be in the game and who is going to be a little bit later. But we should have both of them in the chat today.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's about it. I'm not sure what the plan is, what we're going to be doing. If we're going to visit some bases or if we're going to do an activity. So we'll see about that as well.
I believe they've got a couple of bases for us
All right,
to
good.
visit. So yeah, I'm excited to chat with these folks and to see what they have in their bases. It's something a little bit different than we're not quite used to, but I'm looking forward to a nice change and introducing them to a different portion of the community. It should be really fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Anything else we need to talk about? I mean, we don't have the guests ready yet, and it seems like we're going very quickly to this. I don't know why. Normally we always have to like stop ourselves from talking, but it seems like maybe we're tired or we don't have any information.
Well, I guess some days it just goes that way. We talked about your holiday. I'm on holiday this week, which is nice. But it's a working holiday for me. I'm taking care of all the loose ends, like going to the dentist and doctor, tune up for my car, all the dumb things that nobody wants to do, but we have to do them.
Why do you want the holiday for that? That's the...
Because I never have time during my regular weekdays, so I plan for this every year to take a week to actually catch up on all the real life stresses. But I do get to sleep in, so
that's good. I mean, that's good. I mean, I have no more sleeping in. I don't know. I've been trying to sleep, but my sleeps are very short lately. So, what was asking? So we are now this update, the autophage update. That should be the third part of this 4-story arc, no? So we are still getting one more story part. You think we're gonna get this year?
Yeah, I think we might get one in. I think there's usually a drop around September, late September, early October.
Yeah,
of some kind.
I'm not sure how long we still have.
September now.
I'm not sure how long we still have the expedition, but I'm assuming it might drop right after 5 weeks. So let's say halfway October.
Yeah, so we may see another expedition and a small update, or big. I mean, you never know. They've been really surprising with some pretty big updates this last year. So we may see something else right at the end of the year. And then of course there's the expedition redo, which I'm looking forward to because I skipped out on the last couple of expeditions. So I'm looking forward to doing those and taking the time to enjoy those ones, and of course getting the building parts, which is always nice.
Yeah, I was thinking about something and now it slipped my brain.
What do you think of some of these newer base building parts? We've got a skull, or a robot skull, and a hand now. Some new posters. Does anything like really interest you?
I think the tent and the wonder projector were both my the reason why I did the expedition. I did try the wonder projector, but I wasn't 100% sure if it shows for everybody or if it just shows for the person that built it. I've not tested it as well. So if it's
I believe it does show for everyone.
Okay, if it's visible for everyone, this is a great piece of build part, the wonder projector, because that allows a lot of freedom and creativity for you. And I think I wonder if you just put the wonder in there and then you delete the wonder from your menu, it stays on that wonder projector, no?
You know what? I haven't tried that, so that's a good question. Because like say you find a planet that's even, for example, hotter than the last one. Does it change? Does it stay? Does it delete?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. If you could, for example, say I'm going to put some in the wonder projector like that, then I'm going to remove that and make another wonder, then put that in the other 3 projectors. Would that save or will it refresh the other ones? I've not tested it.
Yeah.
But it might be
a
great option that. But yeah, you can put a lot of, I mean, the wonder projector is definitely, if it's visible for everybody, it's one of the best building parts because it gives you a personal touch on the build that you want to build.
Yeah, I really like the idea that we can put multiple different wonders and multiple of these projectors down. So you could put them all out in your base with various different things. You can use them for a lot of different things.
Yeah.
A good friend of mine was doing a build, and I suggested, hey, well, what about the wonder projector? That could give you sort of a realism sort of effect, without having to, have like for example, a stand-in character, in a place. So I mean, there's some really good possibilities with these things. Really digging them.
Yeah, I saw. I was on Twitter. Somebody that had put, the animal that pops out of the ground. I call it Sid Murray.
Yes.
So somebody put that there behind his desk and his freighter. So it was like the receptionist is so cool.
That's hilarious. Yeah, just popping out.
Yeah, but it's not popping out. It's just, it's not even popping. It's just sitting there and watching behind the desk like a receptionist was really fun.
Okay, so he doesn't pop in and out.
No, because it reacts as the wanderer in your menu, not as the creature. So if you look at your wanderer in the menu, it's static. It just looks around, but it doesn't pop in and out.
That's a shame, but still really cool.
Hey, you know what you could do? You could actually, if that would have worked with that popping in and out, you could have made a whack-a-mole. But they don't pop in and out, but that would have been cool.
Yeah, or say a creature that moves, legs that move would give it sort of a realistic look. That would be kind of fun too. So yeah, we got some good stuff. Really good multi tools. We got lots of great building parts. Well, the Sentinel ships have been around for a little while yet, but those are new as well, and there's a wide variety of them.
The freighter battle, the trench runs, is also a great little addition there.
Yeah, that's actually really kind of cool. Now you can actually destroy the freighters. It's a huge epic scene. I don't know about you, but I got goosebumps when that thing exploded.
Yeah, because we're all saying, we're shooting everything in this freighter, but we cannot explode the freighter. Now we can explode every freighter you want to, even your own, but they should have fixed that now.
Yeah, well, several years ago, you were able to destroy a freighter. It was just a random NPC freighter, and you could, shoot it and blow it up. And then somehow that just sort of never happened anymore. They stopped that from happening, and you could shoot them all you want. All you could ever do is just disable the guns.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to see that we actually have that destructive environment again with the NPCs. More than just killing pirates, you can take care of those freighters and their frigates. So
yeah, we'll see. I mean, we don't know where we're leading now, if they are going to be continuing the updates or what is going to happen. It does feel like it feels like there might be except for the new race, we might see a new ship in the future, and this is just pure speculation. But the fact we can put staffs together in parts, I have a feeling there might be something that is going to be an autophage ship that can be put together as well with like several parts, and that will be the only customizable ship. But that's pure speculation.
Yeah, well, they've sort of been dancing around it for a long time now. A little thing here, a little thing there, and next thing you know, we might just have it. So, I mean, I think it's a possibility in the future. They've definitely laid the groundwork to be able to piece things together or to craft things in that fashion. So we'll see where that takes us. You never know, right? So, I mean, I myself, I'm looking forward to a little bit of a change. I like the old methods as well, but at the same time, as the game and the landscape of the game changes, you sort of have to go with the flow and accept what different and new things that HG gives us, and find ways of enjoying them. Because I mean, it's an ever-changing game. Every year, it seems like it's almost a new game again. With the same character mold, but they add so much to it that it's ever changing. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to pretty much anything that they give us.
Yeah, they throw at us. Well, they definitely, I think, one more update this year. I feel there needs to be one more update this year as well, because Sean Murray said, it's going to be a bigger year than 2022, and I have a feeling, for the moment, 2022 was still bigger, in my opinion, than 2023, according to updates. But then again, it depends on what perspective you talk about as well. No, it might have been. I mean, they released on Mac. They been doing a lot of big changes to their game and stuff. But from their perspective, it might be bigger for them because of that than for us. So it depends a bit on who is looking at what. But yeah, I think another update might have to drop still this year, and hopefully a little bit substantial, just to fulfill that promise. 2023 bigger than 2022.
Yeah. So I haven't seen our guests in the green room yet. Have you?
I was checking. Like, we're getting close. Normally our guests are already there, you know, hopping about in the room. So guests, if you're in the
I just messaged one of them now.
in the videos chats, you know, you just you can jump in the green room and I can pull you guys in then.
Oh, they had a software update. Yeah. So in game, they're updating their software. So they'll be here shortly. So that's good.
La 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 la.
Just
We still have those new space stations. Yeah, that's another thing that I don't know where it's gonna go, because it doesn't feel like this is part of autophage, you know, anymore. You know what I mean? This feels like a separate chapter. Because autophages, if you look at them, if you look at their, you know, what they are very, you know, put together with several pieces. So the space stations looked amazing. So I don't feel like that suits the. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, they also had the what was it? That leaked footage or leaked data mining of the upgraded space stations. So, you know, looking forward to if that ever becomes a possibility.
So yeah, we'll have to see about that as well. I'm just keeping an eye on the
for my
chat room.
Yeah,
there they are. There they are.
I'm messaging them right now.
They are in the room.
Yep.
They're in the room.
They're just popping in.
I'll pull them in.
Perfect. Okay.
AJ, I'm gonna pull AJ in, and then we'll pull in BlueEyedOni. Hello. Oh, I lost Blue already.
Welcome, boys. How are you?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Studio 16.
Hi, how you doing?
We're doing great, thanks. How about yourself?
I'm very good. A bit of a rush. I've just literally got home from work. But yeah, I mean, I had to make it. I'm literally just finishing off a software update on my PlayStation, so I'll be literally on in like a couple of minutes.
Right, I'm gonna try and blue eye in again. Let's see. Stay, please stay. Nope, he's gone again.
Oh, what happened?
He's just jumping out every time. Maybe just try again.
Problem.
Nope.
Issue possibly.
I don't know what the reason is.
That's very interesting.
You may have a poor connection sometimes. Yeah.
Roles. I might just have to double check. You're a bumblebee. Maybe he didn't accept the rules or something. If he jumps in again, I might see it.
Yeah.
Let me check.
If he's,
No, he should be. He should be.
He's in the green room now.
Studio 16 special, maybe. Let me just give him an extra role just to see if he sticks around.
All right.
Are you here? Is he sticking around?
Hi, Blue.
He's staying. He's here.
He's here.
Now we just need to hear him.
Can you hear us, Louis?
Yeah, we hear.
Oh.
Yep, there we go. All
right.
Don't know what's going on there.
Let's go.
We're here.
All right, we got everything all squared away. That's good.
All right.
Excellent. All right. How are you guys doing anyway?
We're doing good.
We're doing good. Yeah.
I mean, well, it's an honor to be here, to be honest with you. I mean, when DG approached me, you know, and said, you know, there's an opportunity to come on this, I had to eat it up. I was like, look at my work schedule, going, right, where can I get off of here? What can I do something here? Can I swap shifts with somebody or something? We got there in the end, but I mean, it's a massive honor. I mean, I've obviously been subscribed to your channel for ages, so you know, how to adjacency glitch, you know, and wire glitching and all that kind of stuff. Back when I was a complete noob at building. Yeah, it was your videos that taught me.
Yeah,
cool.
Same here.
Well, before we jump into the interview, I'm just gonna introduce you guys to the chats, because otherwise people might not know. We have AjZed and BlueEyedOni, I think it is.
You can call me Lewis.
Lewis. Okay, that's good as well. AJ and Lewis. If you check the description, you should find a link to their YouTube channel as well if you want to check it out. We'll talk about what they're doing as well, but if you want to check out the channel and subscribe if you like what you see, then you can do that by just clicking their ads into the description of this video. And I might actually be able to drop a link as well in the chat. Whew. All right.
Appreciate it. Massive.
So DJ, I'm gonna let you lead a lot of this because you are more aware of what they are doing as well, so you know in what direction you want to ask questions.
Okay, sure. So, all right. Well, we've got AJ and we got Lewis here today, and this is something a little bit different for Studio 16. Usually, you know, we've got members of the community who are very prevalent in building specifically, and other prominent content creators. Today, we've got a couple guys that are very different. These guys are huge into the PvP scene, and this is what they're all about. I noticed them a while back, and been getting to know them an awful lot, and watching what they've been doing. They run what's called the UFC, which stands for the Ultimate Feud Core, and these guys are doing some great things with PvP and making it fun, fair, and exciting. I guess my first question is, how long have you guys been playing, and how long have you been doing the PvP?
So PvP wise, probably since around 2020, but
Okay.
playing the game normally, I played since launch. I was one of the people defending it with negativity, you know, because I enjoyed what it was in the original. I enjoyed playing it. I encouraged Lewis to try the game, and he did. And we played for a while in 2018. We really started kicking off in 2020 when Beyond came out. I think that was that 2019, and then yeah, that's right. And we our little group together at around that time, about 2020. So that was when we got involved with the PvP community. But from then on, I mean, it kind of just built on itself. We met new people, networked, and eventually it did evolve into the UFC.
Okay, so now there's another name that goes along with the UFC, and that's the Galactic Games. So how does it work out with the Galactic Games? Is it the UFC is like, you know, the company who runs the Galactic Games, or is that a separate partnered company? Like, how does that work?
So Galactic Games is run by the UFC. It is like the staple tournament that we emphasize most of the server on, to be honest with you, as we operate for, and Galactic Games is like the UFC's baby. It's how UFC actually came about, because GG came before UFC, because we was another group before the UFC came about, and GG evolved with that group. But then we saw how much people liked it, and we wanted to base a Discord or a group around that, sort of like the actual real life UFC or WWE, for example, those types of companies and the way they operate with the stardom and the drama, and, you know, building up characters and having them being big names in the UFC. And we that's what it's based around. So the way GG works, it's tournament based. Typically we have 8 players. Usually we try and aim for 1 per civilization, because we want the best of the best per civilization. But we do allow multiple from civilizations if, you know, 2 new people are in, for example. We're not too strict on it. But that's the way it works. We have 8 people coming in, and they fight across a quarterfinal, a semi-final, a third place playoff for the losers of the semi-final, and a UFC final. Now, GG isn't just about, you know, shooting each other, because when you hear PvP, you hear the words are like shooting each other, you know, killing each other. yes, that is in it, but that's not the only skill set, that can be involved in PvP. Racing, mazes, vehicular racing, all those types of things, even ship combat we managed to work into it, are all key parts of GG. So we try and make it so that every player that comes in to GG has to utilize every single skill set that they've picked up in the game. Puzzles, all kinds of things. It's trying to get the best out of them in all different forms, not just what they can do with a multi-tool. So as we say, let's say we go into a tournament, there's 8 people, then there's 4, and then they go down to the final 2. They go into the UFC final, where we now have it as 3 rounds. Usually it's just 1v1, pure gladiator combat. We build arenas ourselves for each of these, and each of them will have a gimmick. But the final is usually just pure, head-to-head. Whoever's best wins.
Yeah, I was going to add to
games. Gets put into what we call the Hall of Fame. So we document everything that they do, that they've done in that tournament. We Photoshop a belt onto their character and give them, the stardom that they deserve, essentially. And we write down a nice description of the date that they did it, what civilization they come from, what GG they won, and give them a champion name. So each GG, for example, has a theme. So like this one, for example, the one that's coming up is a pirate theme. So we've called the champion, whoever wins this one will be the champion of schools, for example. That's how GG works in the basic form that I can give it as a wrap up. Yeah, absolutely. You're going to say something there, Lewis? Sorry.
Yeah, just to add to that, no GG is the same either. Different maps every single time. We emphasize as a sort of core part of GG. A different map is built, and obviously we have an amazing team for that.
Agreed.
Some of the best builders that I personally interacted with. But yeah, like AJ said, with races and ship combat and vehicular and stuff like that, you always having to change and sort of adapt. And that's something I've always personally emphasized from sort of my side of things from day one, is that different maps and unique play modes and stuff like that has always been like a core thing of what we do.
Yeah, it also keeps the interest, because if you would use the maps every year, the same people would get bored of it. So it's a great way to keep the interest and the enthusiasm.
100%.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, we always try and look for a gimmick for each of the map. Like for example, there was a map that Lewis actually built himself. First utilized in Galactic Games 3. It was called the Facility. This map basically, it was just a normal basic cuboid. However, inside of it had mechanical doors that would be like glitched into the ground, so they would come up and it would be moving cover. So it's these types of different ways that you can utilize the pieces in the game. We do wish, Hello Games would have more moves, so many different ways that we can build maps, but it is what it is. We use what we've got, and we try and go along with those gimmicks to keep things fresh, and also to maybe get the best out of other fighters instead of just the same 4, for example. Since we've been doing that kind of stuff, we've not had a back-to-back champion since Galactic Games 5, and for reference, we are on the 14th iteration now.
Nice. You're talking 50, 60 unique maps.
Yeah.
So you guys have been doing that for a while, and you've got an awful lot of experience. One of the things that really piqued my interest about how things are done over the UFC there is you guys are very, very strict with your rules to make it fair. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the rules that you guys have for people who may want to enter into one of your tournaments?
So we do actually a lot of research in PvP. The main guy that does the research is Hate Machinist, so big shout out to him.
Yeah,
he runs something called the PvP Library, and the PvP Library gives everybody a lowdown of the very best weapons in the game, how to attain those best weapons, and he runs general training sessions to make people better at PvP, and that follows on into the rules because obviously through discovery. So, we don't allow the neutron cannon, for example, because in PvP, the neutron cannon is extremely overpowered. It takes little skill to use, and so we totally banned it from Galactic Games. We have found other ways to use the weapon. For example, in a mini event called Haunted, we used it as in a Predator theme, so the Predator could use the neutron cannon to make it overpowered. Because it makes the Predator overpowered, and a fire team of 4 would have to try and defeat that player with the neutron cannon. So it was quite a good challenge there. But in tournaments, absolutely not. We cannot ever use the neutron cannon because it doesn't show skill. It's too easy to use.
The rules are put in place just for sort of is to get the best out of the fire. You know, it comes down to not just luck or reaction times. It comes down to pure skill. Like there's certain weapons, like we said, we put certain weapons we allow. There's certain weapons that are favoured because they're just more skill. Obviously, when the easy option is taken away from you, you're forced to kind of look into the other weapons and stuff. So there is no absolutely. So when somebody died, I mean, most people have quite good sportsmanship, but with the way it is there is absolutely no dispute that you lost that fight type thing. It is literally the best you can do versus someone else's best.
We do have ways to test as well whether a player is cheating or not. We, of course, our players and the people we work with have the maximum of the shield and all that. We know how many blaze javelin shots it takes to kill somebody, and if somebody, let's say, does it within that. So let's say it was 4. Yeah, so let's say it was 4 blaze javelins to kill someone. If they did it in 3 blaze javelins, we know that there's something wrong with their weapon. There's something going on here that isn't legal, essentially. So once everybody matches up there, they go through that test and they can play in the game. We also do kit checks as well to make sure everyone's general storage and general stuff looks up to scratch. We play on enemy strength. Enemy strength being challenging because obviously we want it to be harder to kill people, essentially. For ship combat, the rules are a little different. We have to be quite smart in the way that we have to do the rules because ship combat in PvP is difficult. You have to do it in a very selective area. So our guy Sub-Zero AjZed managed to build in a very, very big, oversized, glitched biodome, which was suitable for ships to fly in and out of, because obviously the render distances allows you to go into the biodome as it spawns around you. So that's how people get into the biodome. And then you can also glitch yourself outside of the biodome through the little bit of the floor because the collision doesn't quite line up with the ground. So we built that massive biodome as sort of like a concealing type of way for the ships to fly in, sort of like a snow globe.
Yeah.
And yes, and,
the ultimate Thunderdome.
but for ships. And what we did was we obviously emphasized that only modifications can be allowed on your shields and maneuverability and stuff like that, but no modifications allowed to your weapons. So only base technology weapons are permitted in ship combat, just to keep it, the fights to last a little longer than 3 seconds as they usually do in ship combat.
Yeah,
that's really good. I like how you've made it really fair for all contestants that are participating.
That's your
you guys.
Go on. I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. Finish up.
Yeah. So that's the overall sort of thing with us is fairness. Is I think that's why it's. I mean, I don't really want to. I'm kind of semi-quoting competitors and stuff, as I think that's why GG itself has lasted so long in comparison to other PvP events. Is because we're so regulated and aware of things, like AJ stated. We have people who will look through the statistics of things and write down to how many shots is legit. Do you know what I mean? So obviously fair is the number one priority, because if it's not fair, then the tournament dies essentially, because it's just not. So I think that's that's why we emphasize it so much, but it's never done in the interest of just being like, well, these are my rules, just stick with them. It's explained to them of everybody on every level. Your shots have to be this many, because cheaters is it's always something that anybody can do, And obviously we've said it's a very public thing in our server that cheaters are frowned upon heavily. But 99% of the time, we've got a lot. Our server for that sort of stuff is very, very sportsman. A lot of people respect and honor the rules, and they love it. They love the way they think, even though obviously rules are rules. Most people you don't have, especially for a game that's not the rules for a game. But yeah, everyone seems to love sort of the rules we put in place.
Yeah.
You guys have worked really, really hard.
But
it does. It sorry, we're interrupting each other.
I know, yeah.
Me and AJ could talk about this stuff for hours and hours and hours.
I know, yeah, literally. I could go on with myself. I have to measure myself because I could just end up banging on with myself.
Yeah.
So you guys have worked really, really hard on maintaining a level of honor and sportsmanship, within the Galactic Games. What made you guys decide to start running PvP in an event type arena, and what made you guys what made you guys think of trying to make it fair for everyone? Like, why did you go about changing the name of PvP? Because a lot of people look at PvP as sort of like the dark horse. Nobody wants to talk about it. But you guys are changing people's minds of how it's looked upon in the game itself. What made you guys decide to do that?
I'd say
go on,
it was I'll contribute a little bit and then you say something. For me at first, when I obviously, because if you go back through mine and AJ's messenger chats when it was first sort of, we was having talking about it, it was like a whole, you're talking weeks and weeks and weeks conversation. But sort of essentially for me, when I brought it to him, there's a gap in the market for this sort of stuff. There were other events, but we just when we was in those events, we just weren't satisfied with the way certain events were. And so it just, I'm not going to obviously name any names, but sometimes there was an event that wasn't regulated or it wasn't quite fun with their rules. So we kind of looked around type thing of just kind of what we wanted to do. It's something is just kind of, I suppose at the core of it was just, we just want to PvP. But obviously we saw the stigma it gets at the start. But then me and AJ knew personally, it doesn't have to be like this. So obviously we looked around, saw what was there, and was like, well, that's there and that's fun, but it's not quite this and it's not quite that. So we kind of made UF the GG based off what we didn't like about other events. I go on, AJ.
It came as like Lewis said, it's like a gap in the market. I've seen PvP servers do many different things, and you know what, people did enjoy them for what they were: more open world, more open end. You go into this system, there's a big danger in this system. If you go in this system, you're compliant to PvP, you could be fired upon, which is fair enough. We offer something different to that though, and like Lewis said, we went the opposite direction, went more regulated in that way, because yes, whilst those open world environments are decent for PvP, you can have some immense interactions with people, make some good friends. It also invited some of the more cheaty type of player, and they could ruin the experience, because how are you meant to moderate an entire open space server? You can't moderate that sort of stuff.
Not on No Man's Sky for sure.
Not on No Man's Sky, not a chance. So whilst the opportunity for that is there, we thought, how about we take that and we make it in a more secured environment? And that's how GG was born, because we've seen other tournaments through other games and how they work, and I actually taken the way that football does it, or soccer, if you call it soccer, and how they eliminate things. And I've always thought it wouldn't be cool to do it in a sort of elimination style, 8-4-2. Then you get a winner, and you do that in a very stable environment that is secure, that has rules, that has regulations, that people will subscribe to, and then also have a deterrent. Our deterrent is it's live streamed, so if people are caught cheating, they're caught cheating on a live
Mm-hmm.
in front of people. And the more we've done the tournament, the more eyes we've had on it. So imagine you get caught cheating in front of, you know, other groups like the Galactic Hub or the Mandalorians, all the other groups that in Dominus Legion that we work with. Imagine getting caught cheating in front of all of them. You know, your name's done in the community. And that deterrent is scared off pretty much 100% of the cheats because we've never had a single person cheat in GG. Not once. Never.
Mm.
And that's a huge testament, especially for PvP in a game that has been looked upon as dirty for a long time.
Yes.
Which is why I really respect you guys for what you've done, because you brought PvP in a good light, and you've regulated in a way that makes it fair for everyone and deters, you know, I guess the trolls of the community. And there's always a troll in every game, and you know, PvP just sort of seems to attract them a little bit. But I think that the longer that, you know, UFC and the Galactic Games, you know, are conducting tournaments in this manner, it sort of forces them to, you know, the dark corners where they're afraid to come out and try their hijinks on you know, the rest of the players of the community.
Exactly. We have zero tolerance to them. To me, it's a disrespect to everybody that wants to play competitively or in a sportsman-like way in this game, that find enjoyment in, you know, getting good in the skills of how they move their character, how good they can get their weapon, and testing that weapon out on other people. You know, it's disrespectful to them. It ruins the fun for them. And we try our best to create an environment where people can come in, be welcomed, and play the game how they want to play it, and not be judged for it.
That's fantastic. I absolutely love that sportsmanship.
Yeah, can I just add something? Just my own thoughts, type thing. So, I mean, as the cheating and stuff, we push against it so much because obviously prior to us there was a stigma about this stuff, but you know, I think that's what's stopping sort of PV, because obviously we still get pushback now, just by kind of, I mean, we're not popular, but you know, compared to GG1, compared to now, you know, we have grown quite a lot. But I think that if sometimes we go to people like, you want to join an event, they'd be like, oh no, it's probably full of cheaters, and you know, you probably all got mod, and it's like, no, you know, and we sit with them and convince them and show them this is all legit, this is all, you know, this isn't just some like half thought about thing. It's a whole system. But then on top of that, you know, I think we have kind of in the past, we have kind of brought people over to the quote unquote light side of things, you know, from being you know, they just make the weapons 1,000, you know, 1,000,000 damage type thing. Because the way, again, this is all, again, because it's a system, winning in this tournament, obviously with, you know, different maps and live streamed and, you know, against all these different people from all these different saves, some of which may be bigger than you, some people that you may want the attention of. It's really, really fulfilling. And again, you know, even when you win, you're given a title in server, GG champion, you're given, you know, a Hall of Fame. You know, your stats are up there forever.
I was gonna add on to that, Lewis. I was gonna actually bring that in. You know, like, you know, what the players get from us when they come into the tournament, because you know we obviously get the player that makes the tournament happen, but then what do we give back to them? So like when as you were saying, you know, they get given their own title, the Galactic Games champion, they get revered in the server. You know, they are respected, they are the champion. You know, they will be tagged for it. And it's not just that too. If, let's say, they run their own little group, we 100% back them. We bring them on as one of our partners, and we back that group, and we shout that group to the hilltops. We don't want to be isolationists.
No,
we don't want to. We want to include as many people as we can, and spread what their ideas across into the community as well, and be a community. That's what it's all about. I don't want to hoard members. I don't want to do any of that. If somebody comes in from the Galactic Hub, I'll say they're from the Galactic Hub. Support them. You know, these guys are chill over here. They've come over here willing to be part of this community, be part of this tournament. We want to give back to them. Share your link, do what you want, make any advertisements, and we'll promote your events, promote what you do, because we are a community at the end of the day. And and that all I want for the community, despite being PvP, is for us all to be stronger, for us all to be tight knit, for us all to make, because the more interconnected we are, the stronger it is. The longer it will last, and the more we.
It's a wonderful camaraderie. Yeah.
We say it all the time, don't we, AJ? It's an event for the community, by the community. You know what I mean? Like, anyone can join. We've got, our team isn't just like our friends. It's from the best people that we can find in the community. Of across any and all. And in server, there's a lot of factions and civilizations and things like that. But all of them put everything aside they have with each other in every other Discord to just play the game, and that's all we want.
Exactly. We took a guy who did a deal with us back in very early days of Galactic Games named Law Frobos, and he was a streamer, and he was getting by and whatnot, right? But when he came to GG and we helped him out, we would host the events and he would stream it, and he would bring the people in, and eventually he gets affiliated on Twitch. And we think we're jumping up and down. We are absolutely ecstatic, because growing people and making people better and just bringing joy to people is the goal. Changing the face of PvP and bringing joy and entertainment. That's it. We love doing it. We love doing it. I love doing it. I'm a media guy. I love the stream, and I love editing things down into highlights and posting them on the YouTube and getting clips from people and stuff like that. I love all that kind of stuff. And that's what it's all about. Doing things that you want, doing things that you do love. So,
well, that's not the only fun that goes on with the UFC. You guys have a server that you use, for conducting, your business and so on. But one of the things that I noticed, which I found was actually really quite fun, was you guys take bets and have odds on the opponents and everybody that in each one of your tournaments. And and that's really kind of another fun way, right? Just like the races or a boxing match, you've got odds, and people can place bets on who they think are going to win or how far they're going to go. It's actually really kind of fun.
We don't endorse gambling, so we absolutely make that 18+, and any person that is in our server that is below access that.
I thought you were doing like lava coal bets and stuff, but it's nanites.
But,
no.
No, we deal in something called NC. That's our currency, and you get given 200 NC when you come into the server, and we have a store that links to another game mode that we run that's more open world. We tried to make a game mode that was more like Grand Theft Auto, more open world. You can do stuff, buy stuff with the NC in the server, but you can bet NC. NC just came from something that was a little fun betting game that we made from Haywire Hill. Haywire Hill is the in-law, if you want to get really into the detail, in-law betting company, and it's run by Haywire the Corvax, who is a Corvax who had one of his wires in his little suit get a little loose, and he's a little bit crazy, so all that kind of stuff, and like you'll put out bets and stuff for people, 2-to-1 and whatnot, and people will bet the server, and that in itself is a fun little mini game people can take part in.
Hello, we got both our guests. I was pressing my applause button, but it didn't work. Damn it.
I wish I had that emoji.
The applause, I don't think I have the applause.
So who is who?
He's here though, as you can see. I'm the purple and grey one. That's AjZed.
All right.
Okay.
In the black and red is the mercenary, Lewis.
Are any of you guys affiliated with Damn it! I forgot. We were talking. You were talking about it. The Legion. Damn it! What's her name again?
Oh, Indominus Legion.
Yeah, Indominus Legion.
Indominus Legion. No.
Okay, because you have a bit of the same. There's a bit of the same suits, yeah. So.
Yeah. Lewis likes the black and red, and that is, famously the Indominus Legion. Yeah, but no, he isn't. He isn't the Legion. He is UFC through and through. But we are good friends with the Legion. We get on with Infernal massively. He sent in cracking players like Spaceship Earth and Honorous, who dropped everybody first entered because he in GG before movement wasn't emphasized. You Scatter Blaster back in the day, it was about the jetpack, how he utilized that, but Honorous utilized like the melee boost and how and utilized it in formations, and it became a lot more tactical when he came in. So big credit to him, and that was actually credit to the fourth as they do on PvP, and they teach people their forms, and that brought in a whole new wave of how to play competitively in the game. So a massive shout out to Infernal, Honorous, and the Indominus Legion for that.
They have training programs, which you guys boost as well, do they not?
They do. That's right. Yeah, and that's where they teach the forms. We do boost that because we do train as well, but ours is more like, let's get you in the mojo. Let's just do one-on-ones, or we'll do scenarios like 2v2s. What are you going to do if you're in a 2v1 type of situation? But the Legion focuses on more tactical things. And have I just glitched out the game? I have.
Yeah, I was we lost the guest. We lost the guest.
Like, it's kicked me from the system, sadly. That's the normal Sky network, I'm afraid.
No, I'm having some good memories about the Indominus Legion. I was actually part of the Indominus Legion when they started, but when I just had to spend more and more time to my channel, I just had to step away. So yeah.
I mean, that's fair enough, but you've grown something absolutely special here, so that's unsurprising. But yeah, the Legion, they have been around a long time.
Good group.
We are good friends with them, yeah.
So, okay, here's a different question for you guys. Now, every couple months we get a new big update. What changes do you guys need to make to accommodate some of the patches or the new equipment that come out? Like we've got new multi-tools that have come out in the past. We've got new staffs now, which hold completely different stats. So, what do you guys have to do every time that we get that?
We do a lot.
Absolutely phenomenal question, because that is a massive part of that is a huge part of UFC. We always look for because Hello Games loves to add details into their updates that aren't necessarily prominent. People may not know about them, and usually in the PvP sector we have that. So yes, when new tools come out, we look for the best seeds. So we have people scouring across systems and looking for the best seeds of that weapon, so we can get the best base damage. We then compare those base damages to other weapons. So at the minute, the Sentinel rifle is the very best of the best. Sentinel rifle and the Sentinel pistol is the very best of the best. The staff has also been compared to it. Those three weapons are the best of the best. And so you can imagine when them three weapons came out, there was a lot of catching up. Think of an office and people just running around the office with papers in their hands, throwing them in the air. That's what it's like. We're just scrambling to get all of the information as fast as we possibly can, so we know where the meta is, so we know what weapon's best, and we know what to look for. We know what weapons might be banned because it's too overpowered. Luckily, only the Neutron has fallen to that. No multi-tool has been banned because it's too overpowered. It's just the meta.
Does it ever change the rules?
It does, yes. It changes the rules. The biggest one, the biggest update that changed the rules was 4.0 because of the custom settings. So we had to include people when they come into the server or come into Galactic Games, that they have to abide by certain parameters in the settings. Now, luckily, what affects PvP in the settings is not a lot. As long as you like your survivals on, and it's on like health, and your enemy strength is on, whatever setting it is. So if your enemy strength is on weak, for example, in PvP, that makes you extremely strong. But if it's set to challenging, it's more fair, and we aim for challenging. And that ties into obviously.
So weak is about weak with like a sort of the strongest meta weapon will kill anything and anyone in 2 shots. Challenging will kill you in about 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gone to about 5 now, I believe. Yeah, because the new update has brought in new shields. The brand new update with the staffs, they brought in new shields, which did change PvP again, because it's actually added an extra shot to the Blaze Javelin. So it takes 5 shots now, with a fully max Blaze, with a fully max shield. It takes 5 shots to kill somebody. I believe it's 5. So yeah, every update, there's always something. Some updates, not so much. But a lot of updates, yes, even if it's slightly tweaked. There was one update, I can't remember the patch, but they effectively nerfed the neutron, where it barely did any damage at all. So for about a week, it was unbanned, and then it got banned again because they patched it over and it became overpowered again.
Sometimes they just make like subtle changes, like there's a weapon in the game called the pulse spitter, and like they'll just like, you're talking 10%, they'll just make it slightly stronger or slightly weaker, and it's not something that's on the notes. But sometimes, like, if we go back through all the weapons just for sort of formal sake,
I think they call it balance. Yeah.
I just saw a comment and I just find it very funny.
Go for it. What did the comment say?
Hate machinists?
What about a map everybody has built permission? You can call it Fortnite Sky.
I like that. I like that.
That is good.
Hate Machinist said that's when I get all my grey hair. The new updates. I feel him. He knows, man. Nobody works as hard as Hate Machinist when it comes to those new updates.
Oh man, I tell you, man. I tell you, he's on the ball. He's on the ball. Every single time an update comes out, he's looking, and he finds everything with his PvP library, because there's just everything in there, and he works so hard doing that. Without that, honestly, we wouldn't know what's best or anything. We'd be quite lost.
I was going to say, that's like our server's Bible, isn't it? When it gets updated, it's taken as law.
It is taken as law. That's right. Yeah. If Hate Machinist says the Sentinel weapon is the best weapon, it's the best weapon. I trust him with my life.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, he'll upload video footage, and he'll get other people involved with the testing and stuff. But yeah, overall, yeah, Hate Machines is always there.
Absolutely.
It's good you have such great support.
Oh yeah, the team is amazing.
Sorry, Beebs, you were saying?
No, I was thinking that we were talking about 4.0, that the custom saves made a lot of difference, but I think also the customized slot and the supercharged slot made a lot of changes to that, no?
Yeah. 100%.
Yes, it did. You are correct. Yeah, because
completely
it allowed
changed, I think.
Utilize more tech.
Yeah.
More weapons, more tech. They could fit more into their weapons. So, yeah, that again changed a lot. People could make everything they wanted into one weapon instead of having to make different loads. Sorry, am I cutting out?
No, you're good for the moment. You cut out before, but now it's good.
Okay, good. Okay, yeah. I think it's just because I was loaning the game. But what was I saying?
We were talking about supercharged slots and stuff.
Supercharged. When they came in, we had to do a bunch of testing. That was actually a very interesting point in time for the game, that for PvP anyway, because we had to tease that adjacency, and then formations came into play. So how you would what formation you'd have your supercharged slots in,
and then looking for the weapon,
how strong your weapon is. Sorry, was you saying something then?
Yeah, even down to the fact of so not every weapon had the same supercharged slot like formation. So even down to us testing the best weapon, like all the weapons, obviously which one had the best formation, and then how to arrange you your mods attached to that weapon accordingly. So I think for a while there was one called a T slot, and it was for this one specific alien tool, and that became the like sort of meta weapon because it was the only weapon that had the only alien swap that had like the only alien weapon at the time because Sentinels weren't out yet. It was the only one that had like a T slot for supercharge, and that was like the absolute status quo.
The pink lipstick, they called it. That's what it is.
Yep.
That's right. They called it the pink lipstick because it was like a black and white alien rifle, and obviously it has the crystals, and it had this big pink crystal sticking out of it, and so everyone just called it the pink lipstick.
And that was the most favorite weapon in No Man's Sky.
Then, obviously, after Sentinel came out with the Sentinel rifles, it did switch to the Sentinel rifle and the Sentinel pistol, both of which are very, very, very viable and possibly the best weapons if the staff doesn't overtake it.
I do like the pistol that came out. That is very appealing to me. One of the questions I had for you guys was the staffs. Okay, so we've got these new staffs, and everyone's losing their stuff over it. What can you tell us about the staffs a little bit? Like, do the heads have different statistics when you put one head on as opposed to another? Is it all worked out from the station where you craft it? What makes the staff, or what makes them unique in any way?
So yes, that is right. It is the heads that dictate everything. The heads dictate like the colors and the layout and how good it's going to be, even the class. The head is the main thing. The rest of it is kind of just how you want to build it. It's like the bodywork and the bottom of it is just how you want to build it. But the head is the main one. Now, there is ongoing research on the staffs because not everything has been fully worked out yet. But from our guy Sub, who does a lot of in-depth work with the code and just general sort of figuring out how the systems work in the game, he says to us that the staff is actually possibly one of the most complicated bits of procedural tech in the game entirely. So it's beyond any other multi-tool by a long, long, long stretch. How it actually works, I mean, I don't know the code and maths. That's not my forte. But he can tell you himself the code and the way that Hello Games have built these staffs and how they work in the game is more complicated than any other multi-tool by a long, 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 long way. So we don't know the full capabilities of these staffs yet because it's so complex. How the generation of it, how that works, and how you actually construct the staff, and the various ways that you do construct the staff, and how many the heads you can find, and what different heads do what. So there's still an ongoing investigation, but we think we found the max, but we don't know just yet.
Okay. So now that being said, are staffs allowed in tournament play?
Oh yeah.
So yes, they are. So the base damage is comparable with the Sentinel rifle, so it's within reason. It's not too overpowered. And with the added shields that have come into the new update as well, it's actually made it harder to kill people. So they are allowed. They are completely and utterly balanced. And I have no doubts that they will be used in GG14, which will be the first tournament that they've ever been used in. So I'm looking forward to seeing them, what people are going to bring in. I will just add a comment that because of the lack of variation in the Sentinel rifle, everybody Sentinel rifle or pistol, and it kind of took away from that variation. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the different styles of staff that people are going to bring in and show off in the event. We're going to see different weapons.
Yeah, that was a bit of a shame on the Sentinel weapons that they were only two styles. Same with the royal weapons as well. It was like there was not a lot of variation, but the stats really can give you a little...
is and that added onto that, the royal and the Atlas weapon are just sadly they're not good.
No, their mining
in terms of
tools
PvP, they look beautiful. Don't get me wrong; they are gorgeous weapons, and I wanted especially the Atlas rifle to be I wanted that to be the meta weapon because it looked gorgeous. But yeah, they are. I'm afraid they're just nowhere near good enough. If you're going to do PvP and you want to step into that realm, I would highly advise against using any of those weapons.
You can only, you know, maybe distract them how beautiful they are and shoot them then.
A lot of it is cosmetics for myself. I'm not, I'm not a min-maxer. When I pick out a multi-tool, I'm very much a cosmetics, how it looks, to my eye. Do I like it? And for the longest time, we didn't have a huge selection, to choose from. I always liked the alien multi-tools; they were nice. But for me, it was. Do you guys know you remember the starter pistol, that little round?
Yes, the orange one at the start of the game.
Yes, that's what I remember. Right.
I always loved that. I've always loved that little one myself. That one reminds me of the nostalgic. This nostalgic sort of No Man's Sky, and what we sort of grew up with as a quote ray gun, right? And they got the experimental hair dryers and all the other fun names we've given them, but aesthetics are very much a part of the game, as it is anything else. There's a pretty good selection of multi-tools we have now, and I think with the supercharged slots, most of them can be used in a competitive way. So I mean, I like where it's going, and the possibility where each contestant or each participant in the tournaments, they can choose their weapon. It doesn't have to be, well, this is the only weapon you really need in order to stay competitive. That's like a really big thing, and I really dig that about the multi-tools in the game right now. Now,
in the way that the No Man's Sky does work as well is there is a threshold. So yes, you can aim for the highest base damage number, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to do better than something that's maybe like 0.5 lower than it, because that 0.5 doesn't really register in the game. And so you can get away with that. So if you see a nice multi-tool that is gorgeous, that might not be as high of a number as another one, it still will do the job. We just go by the rule of, if it can kill somebody within 5 shots now. If you can kill someone within 5 shots, it's good to go. You might not even have to pay attention to the base damage. Obviously, you get it within the ballpark. But from that point on, if you can get it to a 5 shot with the blaze jam, because that's just obviously the standard test is the blaze jam, because it's the hardest hitting weapon in the game. If you can get it to that point where it is 5 shot, you're good to go. And that, to me, is good. As long as weapons in the game can attain that, we have infinite variation. And then we'll be able to see people showing up with competitive weapons that they know will do them well, whilst looking good doing it too.
Yeah, and skill plays a big role in that as well. You may not need, the most ultimate weapon with the highest maximum stat possible. Skill can really make a huge difference. So learning the tactics and understanding things.
That is the second
one of the
component. Yeah, it is. That is the second component. It's all well and good getting a nuke in your hand, but if you don't know how to pull the trigger, what are you gonna do? So it's all about training as well. There are people in the UFC. If they went up, let's just say, a random player wanted to get involved, and they just said, you know what, throw me in the arena with someone who's experienced and been in the UFC for a year. And that UFC player was handicapped to, I don't know, a pistol with barely any mods on it or something. I guarantee the person with the more experience in UFC would still win that fight based on the tactical approach and how they utilize their weapon and when to shoot, how to shoot, how to approach a game. Because it's this experience that matters the most. Absolutely. More so.
It's like with Honoris as well. When he first came in, I think obviously you said it before. His movement had never been done like that. He'd kind of jump around you in a triangle, and as kind of basic as that sounds, to see that in the arena, it was like watching somebody fly when everyone else was walking. It looked like a different person, and he probably didn't have the best weapon because I think that was his first tournament, and obviously he probably didn't have the best weapon, but again he had a tactic, and it's considered groundbreaking even now, because obviously before that it was just even now fighters still try to replicate it because it gives you that extra edge of make them miss, make them pay.
That's great. Yeah, I mean, and that's great tactics and skill, that can be learned just by joining your guys' group and taking part in the games. I want to shift topic a little bit here. Let's talk about arenas and some of the base building. So, like each one, you've given a theme, and you've built a specific sort of a arena for each one of your events. How much does that play a role in the skill needed to compete, in any one of your galactic games?
Absolutely massive.
I say it gives you it's a kind of outside factor because some people can be really confident in themselves, but we throw in the odd spanner in the works, it depends on the map, but 9 times out of 10 they've got their own gimmick. Like I say, going back to the facility for a second, again it's just a basic cube room, but there's 2 sets of power doors and they're on 2 separate bite beats. So, and they're moving every 2 seconds. So when you're stood behind cover, suddenly it's not there anymore. So it's one of those of you kind of, there has to be a layer of adaptability with the maps too, I suppose. We don't really maps are kept quiet. Nobody knows outside of the building team that's assigned. Nobody knows what maps is going to be announced. And I think when we do it on a Sunday, I think they release on the Friday. Is that right, AJ?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah,
sort of like
quite close.
A decentish picture. 9 times out of 10, we do a trailer where there's per map, there's 10, 15 seconds of the map. So
right. So nobody has a chance to practice it and get themselves, well versed with a map before the release.
We've only done practice sessions on one map that we thought was absolutely necessary. It was something called the Hot Loop. Now, which was built by a hate machinist, and it was utilizing the boost pads, and we built it in like a Sonic loop, a loop-de-loop. And it was a racetrack that was kind of looking like, a Hot Wheels track what you used to play as a kid. And you would get around that loop. Now, that loop obviously was extremely difficult because we're relying on the mechanics of No Man's Sky, which can be, hit and miss sometimes. So we did allow practice laps on that one. But most of the time, once you see the map, you will have about 10 minutes to look at it whilst the stream is obviously announcing names and getting people ready and making sure that everybody is ready and stuff. That's about it. Once you're in, you're in. And from that point, it's just, you have to adapt on the spot. You have to.
I really like that fairness. Yeah. Nobody has an advantage over another in any given tournament just because of a map. Do you... before we go go for a little tour and see some of the maps or arenas that you guys have built, do you have an event coming up? Like, is there something coming up in the near future?
We do.
There is. Yes. Galactic Games 14 Marauders will be coming out. I can get the specific dates on the Discord. Pretty sure it's the 24th of September.
Yeah, September 24th.
September 24th. Okay. That's the one. Yes. So that's Galactic Games 14 Marauders. That's when the next GG is.
Week and a half.
A week and a half away. Okay. That's right. This Sunday, we will be doing what's called the Gloves Off press conference, which is an opportunity for players to come by into a Discord chat, and we do a live draw. So the draw for who's facing who in the tournament is done live for obviously legitimacy reasons. And we basically ask questions, sort of like what you guys are doing with us here. We just ask them questions, how they're feeling, get a gauge on them, and just, try and make it like a proper press conference that you might see in the UFC or boxing, for example. And then, obviously, we do the live draw. Obviously, for a quarterfinal, you'll have 4 in one bracket, 4 in another bracket. Depending on the map, the game mode will reflect it. So let's say, for example, this GG, it's a free-for-all, isn't it, Lewis?
Yeah, the first round, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a free-for-all for this one. So that means we will do one name for group 1, and then we'll keep going until the groups haven't been announced. And then we can ask the questions of each competitor. Maybe they'll get a bit feisty with each other, saying, you know what, I'm going to knock you out when it comes to it. Maybe, miniature bets will go on between them, wagers, and that organic sort of interaction with one another occurs at the gloves off. And we set the stage at that point, and everybody knows who they're going to be facing. They can prepare in however they want to prepare, but that's it. From that point onwards, it's just the GG night.
There's a lot of obviously, people's not already not right within Discord or within the server, and then or maybe what they do and don't say in the presser, that it creates like a lot of kind of like little, obviously not like proper super serious, but like quite little fun little rivalries, like proper little stories and stuff, like just for example, Hate Machinist, former 3-time champion of the of GG. Every single time he's been in the final, Para from Pirate Hub has been there with him, so they formed like a little sort of nemesis thing. They always seem to meet each other in the final if they both got to the final.
Yeah, and it happened organically. They ended up having a trilogy based off UFC finals because they kept making it to UFC finals. That was in the early days, from like GG4 to GG7. And it's those natural organic rivalries. Like we had our guy Zillion was the second champion that was to ever form. He was the first back-to-back champion. He won GG2 and GG3. He went 7 in a row undefeated in GG, and he was, touted as the best of the best at that point. He was unbeatable, obviously, because he went 7-0. And then in GG4, Hate Machinist beat him in the semi-final for the first time. And it was the first time Zealand ever lost. And then Hate Machinist went on to win that title. And then then Hate Machinist went on to win GG5's title. But then Zillion got revenge on him in GG6 and knocked him out in the first round. And it's just that sort of organic interaction between them. There's no obviously bad blood between anybody, but once you're in the arena, it's like you're the enemy.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to see that sort of interaction with people. It's
almost like a WWE storyline, isn't it?
It is, yeah, exactly. That's the best thing I can compare it to. It's like a WWE storyline, They will have feuds. People will, will talk to each other in the arena's lounge and, be like, well, you know what? I don't think you can win GG. But then
coming back from my title. Yeah, someone will take the title off somebody, and straight after the tournament ends, it's like, I'm coming back for that title. Keep it warm for me because I'm coming back for it. And it's obviously that already then creates a narrative for a Galactic Games that isn't even happening for another 2 months.
I remember it was only a couple of GGs ago, but when a heavyweight from the Galactic Corp, he'd never been in GG before. He's called Gizmo Khan. He was touted as one of the best PvPers in the whole of No Man's Sky, and barely anybody has ever beat him. And he came in GG for the first time, and the atmosphere when he arrived, and the weight, you could feel the weight of him, like he was a superstar. He came in.
Touted as a boogeyman.
He got to the final of GG12, and he faced off against a Mandalorian named Silent Wolf, the leader of the Mandalorians. He is the Mandalore.
Kill record in the semi-final.
He beat him. Silent Wolf beat Gizmo Khan in that final, and everybody erupted because everybody had it down. Gizmo was winning that because he's so strong, and he does have the skill to win it. And even I believed it myself. I thought he's got this. But Silent Wolf pulled through, and he won his first championship against Gizmo Khan, and it's that type of story. It was
a proper Rocky Balboa type of thing.
It was unbelievable. Like the reaction that everybody had. Myself, I screamed my house down. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But it's that atmosphere that we do it for. When it's GG night, it's a different aura. You can feel it in your bones. When it's GG day, me and Lewis are in each other's DMs, and we're like, "It's day, man. Today's the day." We're excited. It's like Christmas.
Yeah, sit there for hours. Yeah. So we sit there for hours. sit there for hours trying to be like, right, so this is all got like, you know, what's your prediction? What's my prediction? We'll both sit there and we'll give out proper, detailed, you know, round for round, interaction for interaction, sort of how we think it's going to happen. And we'll go, right, you know, all this will happen, and then this person will be the champion. And neither of us ever have got it right.
It's funny, right? Because we've obviously been here from the start. This will be our 14th one we've done, and we've still never predicted it right. My missus comes in and predicts her first GG and practically gets all but like 2 rounds wrong. Like, I mean, I'm like, what? How are you predicting it better than I have? I made the damn thing.
No, yeah,
beginner's luck.
Beginner's luck,
Absolutely
exactly,
crazy.
man. I'll put it down to that.
Yeah.
So
So
what-
now you guys have got you got a. Sorry, go ahead, Beebs.
no, if you have another question, then go ahead, GG.
No, I was just going to lead into if they wanted to show us a couple
Well,
of their arenas.
then we are on the same mind wave.
There we go.
Yeah. We'll see some of the arenas. Not a problem. Right on.
All right.
I'll,
There's a
What I'll do
teleporter
is
right
go-
outside. If you guys want to hop over, and we can meet you there.
yes, what I need to do is, but it's Hate Machinist who has them stored at the minute.
Okay.
I don't have them stored on my account, but I can hop over to what he's done because I have the glyphs, so I can just quickly punch them in. I've got an area to the to a portal, so it won't
All
take
right.
me long.
Hi guys,
Yeah,
It takes me,
just let us know when
literally
you're
5
there.
minutes.
just gonna say that I approve of your ships.
Yeah,
they
this
are
is the
very
Spectre.
Yep. I
My
know.
the white on white Spectre. So I always go for a bit of a
very
white,
sleek
a white and
ship.
purple.
Yeah, I approve.
I
of
wish
these,
this had a bit of a
hot
purple
rods.
on it, but so if anybody out there knows of a white and purple ship, please send it my way.
You know what? You're not the only one looking for a purple ship. I think Mr. Witchface, Mr. Witchblade, is he loves that purple color as well. He
It's
would die
gorgeous.
to have a
Purple's-
purple ship.
Purple and white are my favorite combo, and if I could ever get a ship that is white and purple, all my life, I will be made. That's my challenge.
Yeah, I'm just flying this little stubby thing here. Lands on a dime, though. That's one thing about these little ships.
That is an interesting thing, actually. You know, like, what is the best ship for PvP? Well, I used to always think it was the fighter, which is obviously very valuable. But a lot of people say D-Harm, Wolf, you know, Sub. They say that it is probably the squid. It's the most well-rounded one.
Yeah,
And
the
if you have a
elites,
squid ship,
exotics are
it
the
is
best.
possibly the
Actually.
best for PvP.
Yeah, I never would have thought the squid. You know,
Well, it's the
Yeah.
I was
exotic,
thinking
no?
like maybe the living ships, or you know, heck, even the Sentinel ships. They got some pretty cool stats as well.
So Sentinel ships are interesting, actually. They have a hover capability, as I'm sure you know, but they're not the strongest. But for me, on the planet side, if you're fighting in a planet, Sentinel ship might not be a bad option because of that hover capability. There's a lot more control with the Sentinel ships than other ships that I have noticed. That just comes naturally with that type of ship. So I do really, really like those Sentinel ships. They just don't have the damage that keeps up with the squid or even the fighter. I mean, the fighter is obviously the best for damage.
Yeah.
But
Now, what about the exotic, the regular exotics, like the ball or the upside down sail? Any of those? Do they?
the regular exotics, they should be viable, but I think it's the squid that just has that little extra oomph. I mean, I can't. It's D-Har and Wolf that figured that out, not myself. So I can't take credit for that. So he knows more than it than I do. But I do know that the squid is the best one. I do think that the Royals can compete. I just don't think they're on the same level as the squid. For PvP. For PvE, it's a lot different. Totally different ball game. You can go with any ship in PvE.
So once you are at your base, let me know so we can warp from the anomaly.
Absolutely. Just punching in the coordinates right now, and then I'll head over, and then you guys can anomaly jump to me.
Cool.
The anomaly.
The old anomaly.
As far as I remember, but it could have changed in the latest updates. The squid and the exotics should be the one and the same ship. They just look different, but maybe that changed.
Well, there you are. There you go. Yeah.
I mean, when I made my video 2 years ago.
Yeah. It's probably just a very specific squid that has the right seed for the best base damage or something like that. Yeah.
But indeed, the exotics are the balanced ones. They have all the same stats all over the shields, warp, pulse, and weapon.
Yeah, which makes it the best one because obviously, you know, the fighter's great for damage and whatnot, but what you're either going to have, you're going to have something that's balanced with maneuverability, with the shields, and with attacking, or just something that's, you know, very, very poor in the attack. Could you are a glass cannon in the fighters, but if that's your play style, perhaps that will suit you a lot more than a squid. But overall, the squid just pushes it. I personally just stick with the fighter. I'm a glass cannon, if I'm purely honest. Okay, you're gonna punch in these blips.
I always love the look of the fighter.
Oh yeah, fighter all the way.
I've been fighter
from the get-go. And Sentinel, to be fair, I do like the Sentinel ships. But fighter is my go-to one every day of the week. The old Spectre, I've had it for like 3 years now or something.
Yeah. Now the living ships are fairly well-rounded as well. They've got pretty decent stats on all of the categories. How do they match up?
The living ships, to be honest with you, don't get used a lot in PvP. I ain't sure why. Maybe people just don't like them, but they don't like. They just, I don't know. They just don't like them. They don't want to play with them. I don't know personally the mechanics behind it for the living ship ones. Again, probably Sub-Zero Acid. He knows more about ships than I do. But from what I know and what I gather, I've never personally ever seen a living ship be used in any of our tournaments at all. It's always been fighters, exotics, squids, and well, one time we made a rule where it was just haulers, so nothing but hauler. The hauler fight, which is very interesting.
I saw that one. That was hilarious.
Yeah, the living ships are actually only good for warping, to be honest. Fighting is not the best ship for.
No. For the hauler,
also synonymous with the. I know a lot of people use the living ships as sort of the god mode ship where they glitch.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. They do. I remember that was rife. It's died down a bit now. I don't see that as often anymore out in the wilderness, but you will come across the occasional player that still utilizes that.
That's the cool.
Right, I'm heading over. I should be loaded up in a second. Feel free to join me in a second, and we shall head over to the first base.
Beeps, what's your favorite ship these days? I've noticed that you've been rocking the Sentinel ship quite a bit.
Yeah, I have actually my favorite Sentinel. I don't know if I have it on this save though. Let me just check if I actually have it on this save.
Sentinel ship look like Transformers. They're so cool.
But I don't think it's on this one. No. So yeah, Sentinel ships, and then there's a solo ship I like as well, the yellow with the red sails, the hex sails. But I always had a weak spot for the fighters with the hot rod nose. That's always been my the ones that the guys are flying. That's always been my weak.
They look they're sexy looking ships, you know. What can you say? I've flown a long nose fighter for years. I've always loved them. Whether it's you know the reinforced hull, or the needle nose style, they always had that sort of look that kind of makes you want to fly it, you know. you know, for overall, you know, flying around a planet, I generally like a fighter. I am switching over probably to some of the Sentinel ships because of the hover ability. It's easy to fly low and slow, and
Yeah.
you know, pinpoint some of those dots on the horizon, be able to find things on a planet a lot easier. But a lot of my saves prior to the Sentinel update, or the ships the update that gave us those ships. I like it's like the stubby fighter, or even a Rasa, because they land really really well on a planet. It's easy to just drop down on anything.
I'm just gonna ask again. Can we jump through the come over or?
Oh yeah, feel free. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm at the first map right now, so you can head over to my marker.
Yeah.
If my marker showing.
Otherwise, we just have the interview from my ship.
Oh, there we go. My marker was not on. Pop that to anyone. There we go. Yeah, feel free to head over to my marker. I'm just still at the first one. The first base we are visiting is called Shadow Alley.
Shadow Alley. Ooh. Mysterious name.
It is. It was created by Zelian, our guy Zelian, and it was the finale map from Galactic Games 7 Revolution.
Okay. Let's see here.
I'll just be right back whilst you guys are coming over.
If my memory serves me well, this is the map where Hate Machinist cemented his 3-time championship, and it was a very, very, very good fight. A very good night in general. Actually.
When I retired and won that 3rd title, he says.
Yeah.
Now, pour le moment suprême, let's hope it renders in.
All right.
In fairness, for me, it instantly loaded. I hope it has the same effect for you guys.
Something is
Here
showing
we
up.
are. Oh yeah, I see 2 people coming in.
Yeah.
So you just see a large black box-looking structure.
And sometimes things render in after I've landed.
Yeah, that's right.
No, nothing yet. Give it a minute. Just
Right.
got a peek over at Beebs' stream. Seeing anything yet, Beebs?
Yep. I just warped out, flew in again, and it's popped up.
Excellent.
All there for me.
This
Fully rendered.
It's a PCB.
Yeah. I may have to do the same. Oh, there it is. Now it's starting to pop.
It's on a corrupted Sentinel planet.
Hmm.
I think we lost
It sounds like the Galactic Games area. We just obviously set this up just so you guys can explore them.
So are you doing like a best of over every year or something, like a few select buildings that you did, so, and then you do like a best of challenge or
So what we do is once the GG map is done, we store the code in our server, and we can drag and drop it at any point on any base. What we do is we save it for our open world part of the server, the feud core, and our player base can vote on what map they liked, what should be in the next cycle, for FewCore, essentially, and those maps will be dropped in for people to play on in our open world area. In terms of maps being reused, we don't really reuse maps, but what we do is we take the same concept. So, for example, Facility again. Facility was using Galactic Games 3, but then Lewis redid Facility and made it bigger.
It's expanded it.
Yeah, made it bigger, made it better, and refined it essentially. We had another one with a race called Extreme G, and it was on a low gravity planet. It was a pilgrim race on a low gravity planet, and it had a massive jump that you had to make it over. He did the same again, but this time had like a Sentinel mech shooting at you as you was driving around the arena. Had like different obstacles you had to get past with your pilgrim. So, and that was called EGX. So it's like Extreme GX, which was a reference to I don't know if you ever played back in the day, F-Zero GX. But yeah, that's all we do really with the maps. We don't tend to reuse them. If we do reuse them, we make sure it's a different iteration.
Yeah.
And yeah. Right. How are these maps loading for you guys?
I'm waiting for DJ to land now. I think he's trying to get it to pop in.
Yeah, a little bit slow for me, but it looks like it's rendered in now. So I just flew out and came back.
That seems to be the trick.
Here.
That's how it is sometimes on GG day. Sometimes people, like, on GG day will have to come fly in and out or reload. Sometimes that works.
There we go. All right, yep, it's all here, it looks like now, so that's good. Come on.
All right.
Before the next storm picks me up and throws me around.
No, yeah, feel free to head in. So this is Shadow Alley. So this one was a finale map from GG7. And it was based around, it was before we could do mega pieces and stuff like that to build cities. It was basically a miniature city based as a map. A neon city.
Mm-hmm.
And this one hosted the trilogy fight between Para and Hate Machinist. And in essence, what it did was it took advantage. Now, obviously, on the planet that it was done, it was a dark planet. So this map was extremely dark. And it would only be lit up by the neon lights that are scattered around the place. Yeah. That's why it's called Shadow Alley, essentially. And it was designed to make you paranoid. It was designed to sort of lock you into like the hallways, alleyways type area, and also utilized to make you use your jetpack. Obviously, the scale goes upwards, instead of just across. So the fighting would, and how the fight played out was exactly like that. It would be they were using the jetpacks, and then if one of them got hit, they'd then lower themselves down, head into an alleyway, and try to lose their opponent to try and confuse them. And that was the objective when building this map from Zillion, was to confuse them and to utilize elevation, and obviously to make it look pretty like a city.
So I'm assuming you also
like rooms and everything.
Yeah, I'm assuming you also turn off indicators so you don't see where the person is.
Yes, that's right. I believe it was markers off for that one. That is a deciding factor per map. Is markers on or markers off. So yeah, that was with this one. It was a marker off final, and yeah, feel free to have a look at it. And once you're finished, I can move on to the next one.
Okay. Yeah, that's really kind of cool.
This one was nearly 7 GGs ago, so it would have been around a year old now, this map. So this was actually done a year ago.
Yeah.
But it is one of the favourites.
Yeah.
Go on. Go ahead.
It felt like a Frontiers build, so it's like, yeah, I feel like this is a lot of the parts you see as Frontiers.
Frontiers, yes.
So it was like a year and a half or something.
Yeah, it was around September 2022.
Frontiers is actually 2 years ago, no?
I think so.
Frontiers is 2 years ago.
Been out for a while now.
My God.
Yeah, I remember when it first came out, all these pieces. It changed everything for us. Yeah, it was actually, yeah. It was because I remember the first time we was using Frontiers pieces was around GG3. Yeah, it's quite a long time ago that update now.
I'm feeling this is if you're doing this is best in first person as a PvP. Yeah.
So I think that comes down to the player. Most people like third person. They prefer third. They fight better in third. But our current champion, he plays in first person. So I think it varies just based on the person.
You know what? It might be also because I'm playing left, you know, and my character is standing a lot in the way. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I'm playing left-handed, and in this area I have a lot of spots where it's really close by with the camera, so I'm constantly standing like a half in front of my view. So I think first person is like a much better choice.
So you'd rather go first person in a map like this. To be fair, that would probably make sense in a map like this. It's more enclosed.
Yeah.
You know, with a third person camera, it's more it's more expanded, isn't it? The third person camera.
Yeah, and the camera constantly adjusted because of the walls and the roofs and very cool.
Interesting. Yeah, I say made by Zillion, that one. He's been a UFC member for many years, and I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It was a pick from the guys. So yeah, whenever you're ready, we can move on.
Okay. I gotta find the exit.
I might have to.
That was nothing I was about to say. Finding the exit.
We might have to add you back to the group, because if you jump out, I won't be able to follow.
You can have me back in the group. All the maps are in the same, just convenience. Now I just need to find the way out. Because even I get confused.
Exit is here. Exit is here.
There it is. Yep.
Moving over.
Yeah, one thing I'm good at is orientation.
Navigation. Hey, we'll stick you in a maze, Speebs. We'll make a maze for you.
Well, I'm wondering if I should rebuild my my maze that is not working anymore, because it has like 4 floors.
Oh, right.
Could use it as a PvP arena.
Cool.
Just so GG. All right, Lewis, what map do you want to go to next?
What's in the system?
We got hijacked, and what was the third one? What was that one? There? Got hijacked and crosshairs of confusion.
Is that the only other 2? Yeah.
Yes.
I kind of want to save hijack for last, you know.
All right, we'll save hijack for last. All right, we'll go to head to crosshairs of confusion. Just head over to my marker. Obviously, I'm the red marker, so just follow the red marker.
I love that map.
Oh, okay, it's in the same system. Perfect.
Yeah, this
That's
is
right. Yeah, it's all in the same system, just for convenience. Yeah, this is not a GG system. This is just made for obviously the tour.
Yeah, you just drop them here. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, we just drop the bases here. Yeah. These we just get the files and just drop them as a base. Yeah.
All right. Let's find that marker. There you are.
So the one we're heading to now was from Galactic Games 11. Galactic Games 11 was when Artie from the Astrocasters won, and it was the first time he'd ever won a championship, and it was the first time, in fact, in that tournament he'd won a GG match at all. The 2 previous GG matches he lost and lost again. He was brand new to PvP, and on his 3rd attempt he managed to do it. This Galactic Games was our it was like the confusing Galactic Games. So what we would do was mix up the rules and play around with the rules and stuff. The crosshairs of confusion was obviously built from a crosshair, so like when you hit someone in Call of Duty you get a crosshair. It was built like that, and we banned the Blaze Javelin from this round actually, and
that's like a staple in tournament.
Yes, Blaze Javelin is the main weapon everybody uses. So we banned it in this map, and well, it made for a very, very good match. It's a basic map in the way that it looks, but how it functions throws you off completely.
Ah. As usual, teleporter's not working.
No, that does not surprise me.
I think it probably was built on a power hotspot, maybe. I don't know.
Possibly.
Trying to get up there using my jetpack. Yeah. And then we do this again when we recharged.
There you go. There he is. So I say, in its design, it looks basic, but as how it plays is what makes this map quite special.
It's very, very, very disorienting.
Disorientation was the key here. It was all about disorientation. It was all about not allowing your opponent to sort of figure out how you're going to move in this. You had to really, really like coordinate how you're going to shoot because of just the shape of the X, essentially. Like, I can see you there, but you can't touch me unless you fly over. Yeah. And it made for a very, very, very interesting fight, to be honest with you. And Artie managed to win it here. And to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever heard cheers as loud as when Artie won it, because he was brand new to PvP. He took the plunge and he tried it out and he loved it. And then he ended up winning a title. And so many people celebrated him. And that's what makes this match so memorable to me.
But the pulse spitter in this map caused absolute chaos, because obviously you've got the ricochet mod installed. it just caused absolute chaos for just to watch.
And that actually leads on to an interesting fact, Lewis. Actually, you just reminded me. This was our discovery of burn damage, making you invincible to any other shots. So if I shoot you with a pulse that sets you on fire, yes, you're taking damage, but you're not taking as much damage as if I shot you with a blaze javelin. But if I did shoot you with a blaze javelin whilst you're on fire from the pulse spitter, you would not take damage from that blaze shot at all. And when we found that out, the pulse spitter became instantly more viable and became the second strongest weapon in the game. If you play PvP, I highly recommend you take off the burn damage on your pulse spitter. Makes it far more effective. Also, what's interesting about the pulse spitter is do not supercharge it. If you do supercharge your pulse spitter and you have 20% fire rates on your modifications, you will actually make the weapon so fast that the bullet registration doesn't even happen in multiplayer. Don't supercharge it. You have to keep the 20% fire rates just faked, because I'm telling you, it will be more effective than it is supercharged. And do not put the burn damage on it, because you won't damage your opponent nearly as much as you could if you have it off. So yeah, that's how the pulse spitter works. It was quite an interesting discovery when we found that out. We were blown away because everybody used the burn damage. Because logically, what you'd think is you set your opponent on fire, and then you'd add damage by shooting them more, wouldn't you? Right?
Yeah. But it negates it.
No, it's the opposite.
Makes you invincible.
This does the what you call it again? Do I have it on this one? I don't think I have. Yeah, here. Paralyzed mortar. Does it do anything in PvP?
No. So yes, the paralysis mortar does nothing, I'm afraid.
No. Which is a bit of a...
quite effective in PvP. Cloak. If your blade marker's off.
It wasn't supposed to be a thing with that, where you light up when you go invisible. Like
I
you're
think
more
they fixed that now, Louis. Yeah, I can't really see you as much. I can still see you, obviously, but like I can't see you as much. You're not lighting up like a Christmas tree anymore, which is good.
Yeah, no, there was a problem.
There was a glitch in the game. That glitch. I don't know if you saw it, Beebs, but there was a glitch in the game that made your cloaking device just light up completely. So it would be completely useless in PvP. But yeah, as I say, once you're done having a look at this map, we can move on. But we've saved best to last. It's our favourite, probably one of my favourites of all time, this one. And it's actually built from a Call of Duty map. So whenever you're ready, we can head over to that one.
I kind of thought I was like, hey, I know that name for the map.
Yes, you know which one it is then, huh?
Maybe. I'll recognize it if it's...
Awesome.
Yeah,
all right.
Get out of here.
There is a door here if you wanna try and jet back to this one right here.
There's 2 doors upstairs, yeah. And
I got it.
Yeah.
at the landing pads every time, yeah. No, I've always been a big fan of the Boltcaster myself. I'm not sure if that makes it... I mean, because I like the fact that you have also the Sentinel modules.
Yes, you see, when that first came in, a great point to bring up, we thought the Boltcaster would be viable and it would be, you know, great. It's got extra modifications that make it powerful. Sadly, though, in PvP, it just doesn't go up to scratch.
Yeah.
You can get it to a decent level. If you go up against like an average type player, the Boltcaster is probably viable. But if you're going against like a professional, a pro, it's not viable. You will probably lose the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that, because you need to make sure that you do as much damage in one shot as possible.
Yes.
While the Boltcaster needs several.
That's the drawback with the Boltcaster as well, because it's like an assault rifle. You have to be very accurate with how you're spraying your weapon, because otherwise you're not going to do as nearly as much damage as you would with a well-placed blaze javelin shot. All right, let's head over to Hijack. Personally, it's one of my favourites. This. Oh, I've been disconnected from the group again.
Nah. Now I know which one it was. Yep.
Let me. I'm heading over there now.
Yeah. Serious fight on that boat.
Yeah, this one's got quite a lot of pieces. Funnily enough, this one was actually built via the base app by Hate Machinist. He crafted this over the course of 8 hours. He was studying the map from Black Ops 2, Hijacked, and he tried to make it as one-to-one as he possibly could.
I'd say he did a bang-up job.
I do. I love this map to pieces, and it was brilliant. This map was used in Galactic Games 13, the Heatwave. It was our summer vibe. So it's like a nice yacht.
There's enough landing pads for sure here.
Come on.
Party. Yeah, I think there's like one landing pad on the end of it, but yeah, this one, no, I don't think there's landing pads around it. I'm not too sure.
No, there's like, I think 12.
No, there's like 9 together, AJ.
Oh, is there? Oh, right, okay, there you go. Oh, yeah, I see. Oh, yeah, I remember now. He put them in. Good job, Hate. Oh, so, yeah, it's instantly coming for me. That's beautiful.
Yeah, coming instantly for me as well.
Yeah, I may have to fly out. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Now it's starting up right there. Always a little bit slow to start.
How's it loaded for you, Beebs?
I think it's all here.
Excellent.
Yeah, when I was coming in, I was like, yeah, I remember Hijack now. Because I knew the title, but I was not sure of the...
This map in particular is just brimming with detail. He made a lot of attention to detail for this type of map.
Containers would also only slide back and forth.
Oh,
that's a like that. This is the old legacy parts. These here.
That is, yeah. To give that metal finish to it.
Yeah. It's a shame that they are so hard to build, with regular building, glitch building.
Regular building, yeah, I totally agree. Base app seriously helped with this one.
Yeah. That's the other app. No, it's not Blender. It's a base app from Charlie Banks. No.
That's the one. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Massive shout out to him.
Well, he did also Blender, Charlie Banks, but that was a great thing to do. An app just standalone purely for that.
Yeah, the standalone has been integral to some of the bigger builds that we've done.
Ooh, I like that as well.
It has so much potential, that app. It's crazy.
Yeah. But 2 boats in the back, yep.
That's the one. He remembers.
That's why you used to hide when you played the infected mode.
Yeah, man. Oh, man. Infected. Not played that in years.
Well, sadly, I'm stuck in the hole.
Oh. We need to rescue DG. Where is he? Oh, that's Beeble. Where did DG go?
I'm stuck inside the hole.
Oh, here he is. Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's okay.
How did you? What?
I'm watching
Hey,
Beeble's game.
get him out of this.
You are okay. You probably.
It's loaded around him.
Yeah.
It loaded around me. Yeah, I was walking around looking at the place, and all of a sudden it popped in around me.
No way. Oh, no.
Well, you could reload and just
That's all right.
join me again, I think.
Yeah, I can just reload, and then this is also the last map
you
as
do it
well.
that way.
So
Or we
No
can just
biggie.
get you out for one of these panels here.
Well,
I'll try to reload.
Hopefully it just sends you back to your ship.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
But yeah, there was tons of different ways
my
to
God,
obviously
there's a lot
everyone knows the
of-
hijack map.
Yeah.
Yeah, tons of ways to go around there. We have to be very, very much on the ball with the camera work on the live stream for this one, because there's just so many lanes and so many different areas people can hide and stuff. It was a challenge trying to record this.
This is one thing I would hate in a PvP map. Stupid ladders. Because you walk past them. Look, no, I don't want to climb.
Hey, a good obstacle to try and get round, huh?
This is a very cool map. A lot of places to hide and sneak around.
More and more maps are becoming like this now because of the capabilities, the rendering. You see, that's another thing about it, because when we used to do Galactic games back in the day, in like the older iterations, we had to really, really, really consider optimization. Because we would have, like 10 or 12 people in a server. You know how buggy the servers can get when that many people are in it. Back then it was like 8 at max, so we had to actually split the groups up into groups of 2. But now we have to, we can afford to build more complex maps because the Hello Games have optimized this game like crazy amounts.
Also, the fact that I see there's a lot of legacy parts, so either they have optimized the legacy parts or just the game is a little bit better than optimizing in general. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I think across the board they've optimized, because if we like an hour ago, I don't think this map lowered like 10 minutes to load this thing. I
think we're losing you.
blew it into 30 before.
AJ, jumping about a little bit.
Like,
Can make a...
I
lost them.
sorry about that. Have I cleared up?
Yeah. When you left the game, you cleared up.
Yeah. It's stuck. My internet's struggling at the minute.
Man, there was a time when these short walls just killed your build. These walls were build killers. So they definitely, you know, over the years, definitely improved how things work.
I agree. And that has allowed us to utilize more pieces and do complex builds like hijacks. We would never have even accepted that build if it was like a year ago or something, because it would just lag and it won't work for anybody. No one would be able to play on that.
Half render.
Yeah, half rendering. That in the early days of GG, that was a big issue. The half rendering. Oh my life.
The first two GGs
slowed tournaments down.
Yeah, first two GGs were horror shows.
They were. Yeah, we had to come a long way in learning how to build these maps. What we really go for is we first think of functionality. What's the gimmick? How would it play? How would you move through this map? How would people play in this map? Then we go for optimization. You know, where can you trim? Is this part necessary? You know, will it load good? If we get 4 or 5 people in here, will it load good? And then finally, aesthetic. Does it fit the vibe of the tournament that we're going for? Like, if it was a horror theme, is it got a horror theme to it? Does it fit what you are building? You know, they're kind of the core foundations we approach building maps with.
Mm-hmm.
And we do like simplicity because it's great for optimization. And as long as it's functional and not just, you know, a few wall pieces and floor pieces plopped down, we will, you know, it's good enough. But we do like sometimes to spruce out and make a nice complicated map that people may be confused by or maybe struggle on, you know, or, you know, just to make it seem more special.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the basic foundation we go for when building bases.
Well, I think this base probably easily hits, I would say, between 1,500 and 2,000, no?
Yeah.
So
that's
this
right.
is, I mean, this is a big base that renders really well, especially if you're doing a lot of, you know, activity like particles that shoot around and stuff with.
And and it worked on stream, on live. It weren't that long ago, actually. It was 2 months ago. We fought on this map, and yeah, it worked brilliantly. There was no issues with loading it. There was just it was clean. So I really do believe that Hello Games have been working tirelessly in the background in optimizing the base parts. Absolutely.
Yeah. By the way, if you guys stream, do you stream it on Twitch or do you stream it on YouTube? Is it on the channel I shared on my?
So no, that's where the highlights go. So
Okay.
I edit down the highlights and and that's where we put the trailers and such. We try to collude with other streamers to actually stream it. Yeah. So we've colluded with Lord Frobos, who has done the majority of his, but sadly his game is broken at the minute, so he's not been able to stream it. We're trying to get him back for this GG, but we'll see how that goes for him. But yeah, we're open for anybody to stream Galactic games, really. You know, if they fancy it, they want it, it's theirs. They can happily stream it.
Very cool. This is cool.
Gotta hand it to Hate Machinist for doing a great job on this base. You
yeah.
know, I remember this map back in the days when I played a little Call of Duty myself, and it brings back an awful lot of memories. Like I'm walking around it and like, oh yeah, okay, there's a pool here, and there was this little walkway, you know, inside this little area here where, you know, guys used to, you know, pick you off. I remember all of these little spots, and he did a really good job recreating this.
He also
he did. We love it. It's one of our favorite maps of GG. This I absolutely adore this map.
He also created.
He also made Rust.
Yeah, go on, you do it. You said.
Was you going to say the same thing, Lewis?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He actually made Rust.
Obviously,
we didn't drop that because we didn't know how much time you'd have to explore the map, so we just kind of picked 3 random ones. But yeah, he did make Rust as well, pretty much 1-to-1.
Oh wow!
And that was actually the final finale where Gizmo Khan faced Silent Wolf. They 1v1'd on Rust in No Man's Sky.
What's next? Nuketown?
Hey,
Well,
you never know. You never know.
I know that Boyd has been building like Nuketown several times, no? Boyd Gaming?
Yeah, a few people have built Nuketown I've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Hate Machinist has built Nuketown, and he does often use it sometimes for training sessions.
He does, yeah. Nuketown's a popular one. What suggestion? Yeah, chat. What suggestion of Call of Duty? If you have played Call of Duty in the past, you know, what map would you like to see built in No Man's Sky? Because I think, you know, there's lots of potential there. There's some legendary maps in like Terminal, for example.
Yep.
I'm always thinking the first map I think about is High Rise. That's always my.
Oh, High Rise. Hey, well, with the enlarged pieces, we can build full-on towers and stuff. So you know, we could do that.
We could build all that interior easy.
I have to say, the map that I always really enjoyed was actually Wasteland because I was the sniper. But that's such a big map and it's almost nothing. It's just like a lot of grass.
Oh man, you know, I mean, obviously depending on what Call of Duty. I liked my SMGs. You know, I was the UMP-45 user. I was the what was it called? The SK-74U in Black Ops.
Yeah.
I was the run gun inside.
Yeah, well, in Wasteland I was called the camper because I did not move, but you got killed.
I quite enjoyed Firing Range from Black Ops 1.
Oh, great map. Yeah, I like that.
That was a good one.
I always used the the ballistic knives on that map.
Yeah. You're shooting from the holster.
Oh yeah.
Great job. Looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would love to know, you know, for future reference, if anybody does have a map that they really do love, by all means, say it, and we may build it.
Well, you can see it's a pretty big base, so it's manageable to build something largish. I think Hate Machinist will know how many because you can check the app, but I think it's easily 2,000 parts this.
Yeah, I think Hate can actually get us an accurate number because he'll know.
Yeah, you can check the app.
Hey, do you remember? Could you just message me and just let me know? Do you remember the piece count for Hijacked?
I mean, it might be what you call it. But
I think he had to go back to work. He says in chat.
Back to work I go. Okay.
Oh, back to work. Oh, poor Hate. Oh, I appreciate him. Nah, yeah. Yeah, I do remember him saying, though, it was around the 2,000 range. About that. 2,000 and odd. So, yeah, it's right up there. Considering the cap's 3K for uploadable, that's massive for the network. And it works like a dream. So, yeah, map building is quite flexible these days. So go absolutely ham, everyone.
Hey.
Well done, you guys.
Are these the starting positions, these two cells?
Yes, that's right. So they would drop into the map, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it was the Oh no, I don't think it was actually. It was an observation deck for the streamer. Yes, that's the one.
As far as spawn point, I think people just picked a kind of corner of every map.
Yeah, they can just pick their own.
$2,300, he says. I hate Machinist.
2,300. There you go. In the horse's mouth.
Yeah, it felt like this. So this is pretty close to the base limit. I mean, 700, but still. So you can go a little bit crazy if you want to make a fancy base, fighting base. Yeah.
I know
Absolutely.
I could spend 700 parts pretty fast.
Yeah. Believe me, I mean, we've been learning all kinds of things about the parts because we built our super city where we merged bases as districts into one massive city. So we've been learning all about the piece counts and optimization on a large level because obviously when you upscale pieces, you know, you've got to think about, you know, what that does for the rendering. And, you know, surprisingly, I think Feud Core, it's called Necropolis, the city, but Feud Core is, one of them has capped it off at about 3,000 in one district. They reached the base limit. The others are like 1,800, 2,000. So you're looking at like, what, 6,000 or something like that? Like, no, maybe a bit more. 7,000 and odd, I'd say. 7,000 odd pieces that we have rendered all into one instance through the different bases and then connecting them up using the camera, the base camera glitch. And it still runs perfect. So I think the game has been massively optimized so we can build humongous things.
Ooh, well, this is very cool. I wish you all definitely the best of luck in the next UFC GG run.
Indeed. Thank you very much, Beebs.
I'll have to check your... I subscribed because I had no idea actually that you had a channel, so I subscribed and we'll keep an eye on if there's any highlight videos dropping.
Yeah, there should be one dropping in probably 2 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah, right after
so yeah, we should be eyeing about that one.
Yeah.
What's that? Sorry, DG?
Right after the next games, I guess, comes out.
Yeah, I literally grab as much footage as I can because multiple people record it and grab the audio and, you know, edit it all down and make it into a highlights video. Yeah, and it usually takes me a couple of days, but sometimes I can do it in a day depending if the footage I've got is clean and good and, you know.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I mean, that's it really. I mean, check out the channel if you want.
Fantastic, you guys.
By all means. And if you are about on September 24th, it is 8 p.m. British time that we go live, and 3 p.m.
Pacific.
3 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. So if you are around that time, head on over to it might be Lord Froboz's stream. I'm unsure about that one. You probably just DM me on Discord. It's AjZed if you want to know, or just come into the UFC server. That's totally up to you. But if not, then you can just keep an eye out for the highlights because I say I edit them down. And yeah, I just hope you enjoy it. And it's a bit different to what you usually see in No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
And you know, it might not be a lot of you guys' thing, which I completely respect. But you might be interested in what you see. And, you know, it's there if you want it.
So, guys, for the people that are in chat, the link is still up there in the description, in the pinned comment. I also dropped the link to the Discord if you're interested. I'm not sure if I can still paste it. If I still have it, let me see. No. So let me just copy it from...
Yeah, YouTube and Discord don't seem to work together very well sometimes.
No, I copied the link, to paste it, and then I copied something else. I forgot to... so I'll just copy that from your DM. Control V. There we go. That's the Discord, not my Discord. This is the Discord to UFC, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Any final words there, Beebs?
I'm just checking 24th. Where's 24th? Sunday. We'll see, because I'm leaving Saturday and then I have to see what is going to happen. How much time?
Oh, I see.
Anyway. No, I really enjoyed this. I really found it very interesting to see as well what is happening on the, you know, the darker side of No Man's Sky. Yeah, because I was always like under the impression like No Man's Sky, to do any PvP, it's so effing hard to do this, fair, because you will have people that, you know, use the save editor, or they, you know, they cheat it and they make it so hard, and it must be very hard to do a fair fight. But like you guys been explaining, it's really interesting. I think it's great you guys are doing it as well as like that, so it makes it more enjoyable for the viewers and the person that are also taking part into it.
Exactly, that's the main goal, fun. You know, we come to play this game to have fun, and we all have fun in our different ways. Obviously, you have fun in all your experimental builds that you do, Beeble, and we have fun finding out the best weapons and, you know, testing them on people, and, you know, getting people together and maybe fighting, racing, or whatever with one another. You know, we all have our different ways of doing things, so that's what this community is all about, though, isn't it? It's about playing the game how you want to play it.
Gigi, why do you have to have your gun out? Is it because you're feeling a little bit PvP?
No, it's just sitting there.
Oh, we got a round going on here.
He wants a quick round, yeah.
Yeah, no, it just never got put away. Just still sitting there.
What gun are you rocking, DG? What bullet tool you got there?
What modules? This is my scanning multi-tool. I've just got a bunch of scanners. I do have the scatter blaster on here and the blaze javelin, but they're not well rounded. I've just thrown it together.
What type of weapon is it?
Oh, it's the experimental.
Oh, right, you got the experimental. Yeah.
It's the experimental starter tool kind of look.
Oh, yeah. Like the very circular. Is it the circular pistol ones?
It's like the little bubble gum, you know.
Ah, yeah.
Little crystals on top. I got another one of those actually on this one too.
To be honest, it's
they're pretty weapons.
Pretty nice. Pretty nice
they're
for
very,
me.
very pretty tools.
It's a nice color.
Yeah, and I got this one here as well, which is kind of fun. The one we got from one of the expeditions, with the spikes on top. So, yeah, I like them. These are fun little multi-tools for me. They're very nostalgic.
Well, right, all right, guys.
Thank you so much, AJ and Lewis. We appreciate your time and telling us a little bit about PvP and how you guys have made it fun and put a lot of sportsmanship and honor into the darker side of No Man's Sky, which may not be quite as dark as you guys think anymore, because you've been doing a lot of work
light on it, guys.
changing people's minds.
The caves of PvP will be explored with light.
So I will definitely try to check you guys out, because this was definitely great. I wish you the best of luck with what you're doing as well. Again, for the people in the chat, if you're interested to see PvP and No Man's Sky, definitely check out the channel there. And then also just keep an eye on the Discord maybe, or on, I don't know if you have like a community page. I don't know if you can actually already use your community page on YouTube.
We can, we can post things on there, absolutely.
So keep
usually
an eye.
Just do things through the Discord to keep things simple, but I can use the community area.
Just keep an eye, because if the event happens live on the stream, they will probably also drop the link to the streamer that is gonna stream the event itself.
Absolutely, yes. If you don't have Discord, that's totally fine. I can drop it through the YouTube community. Absolutely.
But that's gonna be it. Thank you so much, guys.
One final question.
Yeah, of course, yes. DJ, of course.
Of course, we got to get that last question in there. If you were to see, Sean Murray on the street, maybe it was the meetup or somewhere else, what would you say to him about what you've done with PvP and how it could be better?
Well, if he had the time to listen to me, I could have him sat down for hours talking about, obviously the first thing I'd say is, thank you. Thank you for making this game. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to build something that we love to do. I get to now expand my media skills, which I study and all that kind of stuff, into this. Like I use this game for my media skill set to improve. my photoshopping, video editing, all that kind of stuff. I use it for this sort of stuff. Like, I would thank him for that, for giving me the opportunity to build that. I'd thank him for the opportunity to build a community within an absolutely fantastic community, my favorite community. And I'd explain to him what we've managed to do. You know, what we've managed to achieve in what is perceived, like you guys say, is the darker side of No Man's Sky, and to shine a light on it in a way that is, you know, acceptable.
What would you say, Louis?
Excellent. Lewis, anything you'd like to say?
No, yeah, I think AJ got the nail on the head. You know, I'd say I'd thank him for the game. You know, I've put probably hundreds and hundreds of hours into this. You know, I play it at least every day. I've been playing it every day for the last 5 years, you know, of my life. So, you know, it's become a staple to me. Just with the community side of things, well, obviously, thank you for giving me the opportunity to essentially, you know, lead the community and have such a space. So, you know, I mean, I love all, you know, quick shout out as well, by the way. You know, shout out all the boys in the UFC server. Shout out the production. Shout out the production team. Hate Machinist, Sub-Zero, Skinwalker, Zillion, Silent Wolf. You know, some of the best people I've ever met online. You know, some of the solidest dudes. You know, the community, even just the community in general. You know, like we're not a proper sort of strict server. There's always just general conversation. It's not always about No Man's Sky, but everyone in there is just so chill. And, you know, they're all so accepting. They're all from different walks of life, nationality, you know, views on the world. But everybody is just so nice and just dead cool. You know, and I'm so grateful I had to have that experience. And, you know, obviously it all stems from Sean's game.
Exactly.
Right
the
on,
fact we're all
right
here tonight is from the fact Sean made this game.
Excellent. Thanks again, you guys. Really appreciate your time and showing us around and just telling us a little bit about what you do and how you've done it. So my applause to you and thank you. Thank you very much.
It's been an absolute honor, DG and Beeble. Honestly, thank you for this opportunity to speak about PvP and, you know, just about our side of the community and stuff. It's thank you for hosting us. Honestly, it's been fantastic.
Honored. Anytime.
And that's going to be it for today, guys. Really appreciate you guys jumping in, both our guest and DJ, and thank you for everybody in the chat as well for being here. We will be back for another one next month. I don't know what that will be. Let me just check. October. That's going to be the 12th of October.
Okay.
If the update doesn't drop on that time, but we'll see. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys. Have an awesome one. We'll see you again next time.
Thank you, guys.
See you.
Take care, chat. Awesome. Take care, Beeb. Take care, DG.
Right. Take care, everyone. Till next time.